Okay, Harvey, do you want to talk about your inner female and why you want to be at Jen's party with, or are you here to pick up women?
No, not at all. I'm married, first of all. I'm in a relationship for 31, almost 31 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's been a wonderful experience for me. I was a street performer when I met her, and she really grounded me. And eventually, I wound up getting a job in the corporate world, which I never thought I would do again. And I retired in 2004, and I've been I've been transformed by this relationship with Candy.
Her name is
That's
Candy?
well, it's her nickname really. Her name is Dulce.
Dulce, wow.
Yeah, and I never expected Dulce to accept me into her life in any form. She was older. She was Latin, and I'm Jewish. She was black, and I'm white. There were so many reasons why, and I had no money. I had not a cent to my name.
Did you meet here in New York?
Yeah, yeah, at the Universalist Church, and it was just love at first sight for me.
Oh.
And that night, I sang a song that I think really typified the relationship. And one of the lines in it was, "She asks me to help her, but I know she's teaching me."
Hi, Harvey.
Hi, it's Susan, right?
Yes, it's Susan. Actually, I would love to share this story because I tell it to all my friends who are single, and I'm in my 30s now. I'm 31,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in my 20s. In my teenage years too, I was like the poster child of like a woman who just could not let men in. Like I was very stereotypical. Like I really liked the guys who were bad for me or who just wouldn't pay attention to me. But the guys who really cared for me and were wonderful boyfriends, I just couldn't show up for. And so I really suffered. I just pushed a lot of people away, and I really just abused a lot of men too. And I finally had a good friend, and she said, you know, at the coattails of this like 3.5 year long relationship, which was disastrous, this friend said, I want you to like sit down and pray to God, and I think you need to have a spiritual change here. And I was totally rolling my eyes. And she said, you know, I want you to write down all the qualities you want and just pray it every day. So I did it. I wrote like, Dear God, show me what I need, no more bozos. I used the word bozos, Susan. And because after the 3.5 year breakup, all these like bozos, God bless them. I mean, they had their own stuff, but they were bozos to me. And so I wrote down this list of 22 things, and then really painfully, I prayed it every day for about 9 months. And I really, I mean, painfully, I was like cursing God the whole time, being like, this is never going to happen. And then I met this guy who I'm with, and we're going to get married.
Mm.
Wow, so it did work out.
We're engaged, and he's every single one of these qualities, and the qualities are really specific to me, like qualities that are just,
Right.
you know, like I wrote, I mean, vague, like very vain things, like no big belly or butt. And I have a guy who just, he's Asian, and he just has the highest metabolism. And then I wrote,
Do you think you conjured him in some weird way?
it was really, there were a lot of things that were a miracle, because, and things like his parents will live far away and not need money from us and not visit often. Just, you know, and then my parents, the big test was my parents will like him, and, you know, I have Arab parents. So, you know, after 2 months, I was like, you know, are you going to meet my parents? Because I was like, this will be the, you know, let me get rid of them.
ultimate.
I'm not going to waste my time. And they loved him. And even though he's Asian, which was a miracle in itself. And I tell all my friends, I'm like, and they've all known, I'm like, if this can work for me, this can work for anybody. Because it is such
Right.
a miracle.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with the law of attraction, which I was not aware of when I met
Right, yeah.
Candy,
Yeah, I was just thinking
my
that.
wife. But the law of attraction really does seem to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily work the way we want it to, but it works.
Right. You know, I've been exposed to the laws of attraction in several different, you know, things. And, but the secret, like, you know, I watched the documentary, you know, on it, and those, you know, I guess the biggest thing, but I'd heard several different things throughout, my life about it. But I've never actually met anyone. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a bunch of, hogwash, or, but then you're like, but what if it's true? Maybe. I mean, it can't. I don't have to tell anybody I'm doing this. I can just try it. But it's amazing.